Longhorn Nation, what's going on? It's your boy BJ with Bad Talks. I'm back today, early Thursday morning. I may start sweating my air conditioner in a brand new home I just built. It's not working this morning, so I'm waiting for the HVAC guy. So I thought I'd get on and get the video done before it gets here. It's about 80 degrees in my house already, but hey, it's whatever. Hey, so we got a few things to talk about. Hey, we're wrapping up training camp. We got the final scrimmage this weekend and Saturday, and then they start preparing for Lafayette, number 23 team in the country. Um, I also want to talk about last time I did a video. We talked about the schedule and I said we'd go 10-2 was my prediction, but I also earned the right to change that if need be after hearing and seeing some things and talking to some people that's in Austin. Um, Probably going to change that a little bit. Probably. We'll talk about that towards the end of the video. Um, I think we need to talk quarterbacks a little bit, who I still think is going to start, how they've been performing in training camp. Talk about the running back room a little bit. Talk about some of the younger guys that's come in that's contributing. Yesterday, if you didn't know, you can go on YouTube and watch the interview. They finally talked to some of the instead of Sarkisian, they talked to some of the assistant coaches and Jeff Banks and Kyle Flood and the defensive coordinator and PK. It was good listening to those guys. I really enjoyed listening to Kyle Flood. It's a dude sounds like a genius on the offensive line. I'll get in a little bit of that and what they think of Steve Sarkisian. Is it time to hit the panic button after hearing what's going on in training camp, or is it time to say, hey, we're ready for the season? We may talk a little bit about that and just expectations and things we want to see, and kind of want to talk maybe some gut feelings I got going on in here about the culture and stuff like that, and what's going on with Texas. But let's jump right into it. I think we need to start out with Casey Thompson and Hudson Card. It seems like during the scrimmage, neither quarterback really stood out. So, but it sounds like, and Steve Sarkisian was very blunt about that he wasn't happy with the quarterbacks. They didn't perform up to his expectations, and it's great to hear a head coach be honest to the fans and to the people listening versus, oh, they're doing good, this and that, we put them in different. No, he said they did not play up to my expectations, and we just got to be better. If we play like this against Lafayette, we'll get our butt kicked. That's pretty much what he said without using those exact words. They're nowhere near ready if they play like that come September 4th, the way they played in that first scrimmage. But it sounds like they've kind of made up lost ground and on Monday and Tuesday, and had a open practice on Wednesday. And if you can go on YouTube and find some of those videos of some of that practice on Wednesday. But it sounds like Hudson Card's taking a majority of the snaps with the first team. Sounds like he's performing better in practice now that Casey Casey keeps turning the ball over in practice. In the scrimmage, he turned the ball over. Practice, he turned the ball over. It seems like Brockemeyer, every time he throws a pick, it seems like it's Brockemeyer that's getting the pick, man. And we're hearing that kid's name every time I'm reading something, updates on Texas football. Brockemeyer's name gets brought up. And this is a kid that wasn't even on scholarship a year or so ago. So that's great to see this guy earn a scholarship and now playing lights out. Some of you may hear the earn a scholarship while you're there. He wasn't a big time recruit, blah, blah, blah. Don't care nothing about that. Go to the NFL, look at these 3-star guys that are succeeding in the NFL. It's not all 5-star and 4-star guys in the NFL or throughout college football for that matter. Develop is what Steve Sarkisian and the task him and his assistants have moving forward. So that's awesome to hear about that guy. But again, I'm with Catch from Orange Bloods. I heard him talking this morning with him and Onward. I think Hudson is in the lead for starting position. I also personally think Sark knows who's he's going to start. Why in the world would you if you think Casey Thompson is going to start, let Hudson Card get majority of the 1 reps in practice 17, 18 days away from your first game? It just wouldn't make sense to me. Now, Steve Sarkisian is obviously the quarterback whisperer, as they say. Sark's a heck of a lot better football coach than I am. I just know I'm a football coach, and if I got somebody in mind that's probably going to start for me, they're going to be running majority of the first team reps with the first team guys against the first team defense. You want iron sharpens iron, mano a mano. You want the big dogs against the big dogs. So I still think Hudson Card is going to start. Although I've already said, I'm on record saying in a couple other videos, if Casey Thompson gets a start, I'm all Casey. You know, let's whoever they put in there that puts this logo on their helmet and starts, that's who I'm rolling with. All right, until the next guy comes in. Um, but I don't know if either one wins more than the other, and this probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Casey's in. I think him and Hudson probably have a similar year um, at quarterback, regardless of who starts. So you ask, then why start Hudson? Why not go with the um, seasoned guy, the guy that's been there 3 or 4 years? I'm opposite. I'm looking at the future. Hudson's got eligibility left, several years left to stay with Texas and play. I think I would want to go with Hudson if he can do just as much as Casey, if not better, or better, and go with him. That way you don't want to say the R word as in rebuild, but you want to go with a guy that's young. You got good talent around him. You got sounds like a decent offensive line now, a good run block defensive line, and an okay pass block. We got a running back room that stands next to anybody in the country. I don't care who you are, what fan you're listening, fan on here that's listening to me. Put your running back room against our running back room, and we can discuss. That's a good discussion. Texas got, if not the best running back room in the country, I think. They say this young Brooks kid from Hallettsville, Texas is coming on and showed out in the scrimmage last week. So, I mean, that's 4 good running backs right there. And Bijan is already on the Heisman Weight Watch and whatever they call it, all these lists, the Doak Walker Award watch list and all this. Bijan is 1A, 1B in the Big 12 at running back and probably 1A, 1B, 1C running back in the country. And I'll stand on top of the highest mountain and scream that loud as I can as for as long as I can. It seems like after listening and reading some things, the wide receiver room's got some work to do. Yeah, we got Jordan Whittington in there in the slot, good looking, 5-star kid out, had some injuries last year. But I'm not sure it's as consistent as Sark wants. Outside guys, Joshua Moore, they talk about he added 12 pounds. The overall, I'm not going to go through every receiver because I don't want to make it about that, but the overall room right now is struggling, it sounds like. They're struggling to get open. And we think as Texas fans from the last 10 years, if you're struggling to get open against Texas DBs, you got a problem right now because they just haven't been up to par and played up to par. We've had big names at DB. Every year I drink that Kool-Aid about our defense and our defensive back's going to be good this year. B.J. Foster been around a long time. They talk about Anthony Cook coming out, Jameson coming out. These guys are balling in practice. Schooler moved back to safety, but it's yet to be seen. We don't know. You know, it's like, I don't know. I've never experienced this, but you have a spouse that cheat on you, man or woman, and they change, and you know what? This year they're going to change and they're going to do what they do until they don't. And that's kind of how Texas is, man. This defense is going to be solid until Lafayette quarterback runs all over them. You know, so we don't know that's going to happen or not. So it's hard to say. Is it a good defense or is our receivers and our offense just struggling? Right now, I think it's the receivers. Xavier Worthy, they're saying showing highlights in practice and all that as a true freshman from California. But until game day, man, we're not going to really know what we have. I'm hoping. I was on a higher horse last week about this team after reading some things, and I trusted Sark and listened to some other coaches talk about Sark. I really think he'll get them right, but to come right out the gates is going to be tough. Now, I also ask why. Why? We got all this talent. There's no way Lafayette has more talent than us. Yeah, they got some older guys, but then they don't. We got older cats on the team too. It's going to come down to coaching, game management, and it's going to come down to swagger, man. Like something's just got to come back into Texas. I don't know what the hell it is, but they're missing something, and we're not going to know until they get on the field. So what I talk about is just kind of hogwash in the air because we just don't know. And a lot of it's probably a lot of hope. And that's just a Texas fan talking. And if those of you that's listening, you're a Texas fan, no, we're gonna be this. Well, you don't know that. I promise you don't know that. But super excited about the running back room as I discussed. It sounds like the O line is getting better. Kyle Flood, when he spoke yesterday, he's pleased with where they're at right now. And I can only trust what the guy says. When he coached in the NFL at Atlanta Falcons, won national championship at Alabama, won the best offensive line award at Alabama. Again, we don't have Alabama players. I get that on the offensive line, but the dude knows what he's doing. He recruited those players at Alabama. He's recruited big time uh, linemen out of the state of Texas to Alabama. So his resume is all I can go off of, and the way he spoke, and I really enjoyed the way he spoke. Very candid, very open, and very truthful with the things he said. One thing that I took away from the interviews with Jeff Banks and Kyle Flood and PK yesterday was they all love Sark. They all came here because they trust in Sark. As Jeff Banks said, he come out of his mouth said it's a sleeping giant, and I hope he's right. We've heard this before. Charlie Strong was here. Bedford said the same thing. It's a sleeping giant, just brick by brick, sleeping giant, and he's sleeping all right. He's still sleeping. That's why Charlie got run off, and that's why Tom Herman got run off. So I'm hoping Sark can wake that giant and get it rolling. And I think they do. It's just this year one, I don't know. And it's very crucial for this year to, and I'm kind of getting off what I was talking about, but I'm fine. Again, I don't script nothing. I just like to talk ball. But it's crucial that we get it going in the win column. Not just, it's hard to sell this nowadays. It's hard to sell this logo. Everybody knows the logo. Everybody cares about the logo, but it's hard to sell this logo. And before I get off here, I'll tell a quick story about this logo that really hit home with me. But anyway, it's hard to sell, oh, we're Texas, we're coming, get on train, we're going to be there, blah, 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 because we've been saying that since Mac Brown left, okay? Been saying that the last 2 years of Mac Brown's tenure. So these players now, they don't know that those players were my little daughter's age. They don't know anything about any of that. All they see is Texas struggling, Texas saying we're back, and they're not. So they got to start winning. And I don't know if an 8-9 win season does it. I think they got to be 10-2, 11-1 before people say, okay, and do it impressively. Beat Lafayette team like you should. Go into Arkansas and beat an Arkansas team as you should. Who cares they're SEC? I hate that we're going to pump them all up. They're SEC. It's still Arkansas, and they're not very good. All right, they're going to be better this year, but they're not very good. Then we got Rice. We better blow them out. Then we start Big 12 play, and you got to start running through these teams. You got to go to Fort Worth, go to Waco. Then we're going to be tough wins, but you got to do it. If Texas goes 10-2, as I predicted early last week, I think that changes things around in recruiting. But again, if they go, man, 8-4, 9-3, 7-5 for sure, man, I feel like recruiting's holding on by a thread already. I feel like it'll just be cut, and we may not recover for a while. And Sark may not be the last coach here for a while. Things may change quickly. To me, this is the make or break season for the Texas football program. And I have a lot of trust in Chris Del Conte. I mean, he's proven that he knows how to hire folks. I got trust in Sark. He's proven he knows how to win. His coaching staff is top notch, according to every writer and every coach and every fan and every football player out there that deals with the University of Texas. So, got all the money in the world. Got a new end zone put in. Looks gorgeous, by the way. So much activities going on. So everything is there for this team to succeed. Even the players, in my opinion. Even the players. So whatever it is deep down in here, whatever it is up here that they can't get out of their own way has got to be fixed. Now, with that being said, I'll get off my soapbox. Feel like I'm bashing my horns, and I'm not bashing the horns. I think it's getting fixed. You can tell the way these coaches are, the way they coach, the way these players talk, the way they're carrying themselves in interviews, some of the practice stuff we hear. I feel like it's changing. And I hope I'm right, because once the season starts and we lose or get down to Lafayette, the pucker factor will reappear for all Texas fans. And we already know us Texas fans are hard to please. We're the first ones to admit it. We're hard to please. Things may start going even further south if we don't win that first football game. If we do, and they're going to beat Arkansas, the sky's the limit. Once these players get confidence, they start, okay, this offense is good as long as we do what we're told and what we're coached. The defense flying around the ball. Sounds like we got one of the best defensive lines in the country in depth. And some of these young guys like Murphy stepping up. Man, they say they thought about calling him Tank, which we've already had a Tank on the team before. But, hey, he looks like a tank. This kid is massive and gets with it. According to some stuff I'm reading. Obviously, I don't get to see him, just see pictures of this big dude because he is massive. That defensive line can only carry us so far. So I'm hoping the defense is tougher. Hopefully we tackle better. It sounds like we got a good one in PK, a defensive coordinator. Sounds like we got a great defensive line coach in Bo Davis. Like I said, all the stuff is there to do well this season. We got the players, we got the coaches, we got the support. Go win football games. You have to. If you don't, last time I'll say it, not sure Texas will ever come back anytime soon anyway. So I'm not going to hit the panic button just yet, just because of training. I posted on Twitter the other day, you would think the sky's falling the way everybody's acting, and I tried not to fall into that until I started reading reports about receivers and just not being very consistent and stuff like that. Not sure who our quarterback is yet with 2 weeks away from the starting game or from the start of the season. So, yeah, a little bit of doubt is sitting in. I'm not going to lie. Again, I get on here and I'm honest with everybody, and I may take criticism for it, and that's okay. Criticism is still content, okay? And my ears started ringing. So last week I predicted we'd go 10-2, and then when I hung up the phone, I always send it over to my buddy to review and listen to, and he calls me back, gives me some feedback, and he was dead on point with something. He's like, BJ, I want to go with you, man, on a 10-2. I can see it happening, but I can't see us not slipping up to another team, a Baylor, a TCU, a Kansas State, somebody like that, and I have to agree. So I'm going to change my prediction to 9-3. Heaven forbid 8-4, but 9-3. But I don't know who we're going to slip up to. I don't know if it's going to be TCU, Baylor, and that may be a cop out, but that's where I'm at with it. I've looked it over and over, and I just can't figure out who I would think we would lose, because some of them I pick Baylor and TCU to beat Texas, and that puts us 8-4. That's definitely not what we want. I think we win one of those games, but I think it'll be either Baylor or TCU that we lose to. Just because Baylor's got a stellar defense over there, and not sure about their offense just yet. So I'm retracting my 10-2, but I did get one thumbs down on the 10-2 video, so somebody didn't agree with me, and I have to say you're right. I don't agree with myself either. I think we'll be 9-3. I do think 11-1 is the ceiling. I don't see Texas going undefeated. It's just with breaking in a new quarterback and stuff like that, I just can't see that happening. But before I get off here, I just want to talk about, I guess, give a little plug. I don't even know these guys, but I like to get on. I've said it the time before. I like to talk about a fanatic perspective. I like to listen to those guys. Steve and Tran, they're very good. And then two military guys that one's retired and the other one, Clint, and oh man, the other name is slipping my mind. I apologize, guys. But Texas Football Talk, they do something every other day. It seems like I haven't had a chance to get on live yet because of my football practice and stuff with my kids, with my younger boys. But I plan to get on there, and I wish I could get on and talk to those guys and just talk a little football and get to know them a little bit better. And they're on the channel to blow up and get a lot of views and a lot of likes and a lot of subscriptions, stuff like that, and that's cool. I would love that too, but I don't have as much time as some of these guys do, so I'm not big on looking at my numbers every day. But if you can get those guys up to where they're going, you're not going to miss out, man. They're good at what they do. They do their research. and they'll get on, and when you're on live and you message or whatever, they'll put your question up and talk to you about it. Very professional, very good guys. Don't do a lot of cursing, and they don't make fun of nobody. They don't do none of that. So go listen to Texas Football Talk. Listen to Fanatic Perspective. Listen to those guys, man. They're good at what they do. Um, all right, man. I think that's all I kind of wanted to talk about today. Really is um, kind of where we're at in fall camp. The last scrimmage is on Saturday. I'll come back next week and we'll talk a little bit about that. And then my next video will be after that will be the preview of Lafayette. I'm going to study them a little bit more. I know they got a good quarterback that can run. Not sure he's a sharp passer as he is runner, but he can run the football really well. And they got a bunch of grown men out there. So also, I guess a plug. These guys, Whittington, Overshawn, all these guys, Xavier Worthy, Jake Majors, these guys get to interview with Orange Bloods, and you can find them on YouTube. Go listen to them. It's good to hear some inside stuff from those guys, get their personalities. I'm a huge Demo fan, man. That kid is brilliant, and he laughs a lot. He's smart. I really like listening to that guy. Just sounds like a good kid, man, and he's a damn good football player. All right, man. I think that's it for me. If there's other things you want to talk about, just post in the comments. It's a short video. It's only 20, 25 minutes long. That's all I kind of wanted to keep it at. But all right, Texas, this is it. This is the season. All right, this is the season. We find out if we're going to really move forward or not. So I hope and I pray that we can get it done. I don't sound very confident, do I? But I think we got the tools to get it done. The tools are in the toolbox. We just got to get the right mechanics in there to utilize them and get this thing rolling. We're 17, 18 days away from opening kickoff against Lafayette. All right, till next time, it's your boy BJ with Bad Talks. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up, hit thumbs down. It doesn't matter to me. If you're a different fan from Texas, comment on there. I will always respond to your comments. I don't care if it was 250 comments today. I will comment on every one of them or like them at least. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Those of you that have listened to me since a few years ago, I really appreciate you guys, man. Share it if you want to share on your Facebook, whatever. Let's just get the word out about Texas football, man, and let's talk ball. All right, man. Hook 'em.